Learn English Podcast.
Today we're tackling something fundamental but surprisingly tricky. Subject-Verb Agreement. Not just the basics, but those complex cases that can, make even experienced writers pause. Our goal, cut through that confusion, give you clarity, and help make your writing sharp and professional. Because, let's face it, when the subject and verb don't match, the meaning can get muddy fast.
Exactly. The core rule is simple, right? Singular subject, singular verb, plural subject, plural verb. The dog eats, the dogs eat. But the real difficulty, and where I think most people stumble, isn't remembering that rule. It's actually finding the true subject when it's buried under other words. That's the challenge.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So let's dig into that. Finding the true subject. I think a classic example really highlights this. Something like a bouquet of yellow roses lends color to the room. It feels so easy to see roses right before the verb and think, okay, plural, it should be lend. How do we consistently nail the right subject?
Right. Your intuition can definitely lead you astray there. The best way I find is a systematic approach. First, just find the verb. What's the action or the state of being? In your sentence, it's lends. Okay, then you ask who or what lends. Is it the roses lending or is it the bouquet? It's the bouquet that lends the color. And here's a quick check. Can you replace the subject with pronoun? Can you say they lend color? No, it lends color. Bouquet is singular, so you need the singular verb lends. Mentally cutting out that prepositional phrase of yellow roses can really, really help there. Just temporarily ignore it.
Okay. So find the verb, ask who or what, and then maybe mentally chop out those extra phrases between the subject and verb. That's a great practical tip. Now let's explore some of those nuanced cases where things get even more interesting. Compound subjects joined by and, usually plural, right? A car and a bike are my means of transport. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. But then you get something like macaroni and cheese, my brain wants to say, is what's happening there.
That's the classic single entity exception. You're right, and usually makes subject plural. But if the two things joined by and form one single idea or unit, like macaroni and cheese, which we think of as one dish, then you treat it as singular. Macaroni and cheese is delicious. It functions as one concept. Now, or and nor are different. With those, the verb agrees with whichever subject is closest to it. Proximity matters, so neither the serving bowl nor the plates go on that shelf. Plates is plural, and it's right next to the verb go.
Okay, proximity rule for, or, and nor. Got it. That clears up a lot. But what about collective nouns? Words like team, family, committee. These feel like they could go either way. Singular, plural. When do we use which?
Yeah, those are definitely tricky. It all boils down to context. Is the group acting as a single unified body? If yes, use a singular verb. The committee votes tomorrow. The committee is acting as one. But if the members of the group are acting as individuals, maybe with differing actions or opinions, then you use a plural verb. The faculty disagree on the curriculum. They have individual differing opinions. A really useful trick here, if you're unsure, try mentally inserting members of before the noun, like the members of the jury were seated. It forces the plural and often clarifies if that's the intended meaning.
Oh, I like that members of trick. That's super helpful for those collective nouns. Okay, let's switch to indefinite pronouns. Things like each, everyone, anybody. They feel kind of plural, don't they? Like they refer to multiple people.
They do feel plural, but grammatically, they're almost always singular. Always. Think each one, every single one. So each of the apples was ripe. Even though apples is plural, the subject is each, which is singular. Same for everyone, nobody, anything. Treat them as singular. Now, some indefinite pronouns can be singular or plural, depending on what they refer to, like all or some. It depends on the noun and the phrase that follows. Some of the pizza was eaten. Pizza is singular. But some of the students know the answer. Students is plural, so the verb changes. And just quickly, remember, quantities often act as a single unit. 5 years is a long time. Treat the duration as one block.
Right. Singulars that feel plural and plurals that depend on the context. Lots to keep track of. So after all that, are there any major exceptions or surprising rules we just have to memorize?
Well, there are a couple of key ones. The pronouns I and you. Even though they refer to a single person, they always take the plural verb form in the present tense. I go, not I goes. You drive, not you drives. It's just one of those English quirks, you know. And the other really crucial one involves linking verbs like is, are, was, were. The verb must agree with the subject, never the noun that comes after the verb, the predicate nominative. So Katie's biggest joy is her dogs. Joy is the singular subject, so we use is, even though dogs is plural. The joy is the subject.
Okay, I and you take plural verbs, and linking verbs agree with the subject, not what comes after.
Ah.
Got it. Wow, we've really unpacked a lot here, finding hidden subjects, navigating and versus or collective nouns, those tricky indefinite pronouns, and key exceptions. Hopefully, this deep dive helps you move past just guessing and towards really understanding, making your communication clearer and honestly more confident.
Absolutely. And that really brings up a final thought, or maybe a challenge for you listening. Think about this. How many of these subtle subject-verb issues have you maybe glossed over or missed without realizing it? And more importantly, what new level of precision could you bring to your own writing and speaking now just by paying a bit more attention to these details? Maybe keep an ear out this week. See how often you spot these structures used correctly or incorrectly. It's quite revealing.